If you're thinking about getting the paid version of DaVinci Resolve, but not exactly sure if it's worth it for you, this video will help guide you as I will go through all the major differences between the free and the paid versions. But what are the differences between the two versions? Every day I see a lot of questions about this on different forums and social media, but let's jump on in and let me give you a complete overview of all the major differences. The studio version of DaVinci Resolve offers a lot of extra features for only $295. You can buy a lifetime license. You can download both versions from Blackmagic's website or through an authorized dealer that you can also find on the website. Blackmagic CEO Grant Petty has previously announced that DaVinci Resolve will never be a subscription software. So that's just another great thing about the studio version. And the studio version includes GPU accelerations, expanded media and delivery capabilities, more than 40 additional Resolve OFX plugins, and the DaVinci Neural Engine. You can use the free version for commercial work without any watermarks, and it even allows you to try out some of the paid features like the additional OFX plugins, but those will have a watermark on the free version. The free version is exactly the same as the paid version when it comes to the interface and layout, and it has the same media page, cut page and edit page VFX, and the professional color page that you find in the studio version, and the same delivery page. First up, in the free version, DaVinci supports delivery up to UHD at 60 frames per second. So you won't be able to export something like a DCI 4K, while the studio version accepts anything up to a mind-boggling 32K and 125 frames per second and HDR delivery. So basically anything you can throw at it. The studio version also allows playback of more formats and codecs like HVC HD, HVC Intra, and formats as H.264, H.265 in 10 and 12 bits. The free version won't accept those formats. One of the major advantages of the studio version over the free version is its use of GPU acceleration, as it allows your computer to use multiple GPUs. The studio version uses GPU accelerated encoding and decoding of formats like H.264, H.265, which is something you can really feel when it comes to editing, as you will get smoother playback and faster render times. This also allows for full screen playback on a second monitor, which you won't get in the free version. Multiple GPUs and GPU acceleration is supported by Metal on Mac, OpenCL and CUDA on Windows and Linux. If you often shoot in low light or with a camera with a smaller sensor, you'll definitely find noise reduction useful. DaVinci has advanced noise reduction that does a very good job, like its ability to identify what is details and what is noise in your footage and only remove the noise. It also has spatial noise reduction, which helps smooth out noise based on neighboring pixels. And for a lot of users, the noise reduction feature is worth the price tag alone, and I can only agree. It's a very powerful tool in the studio version, and I know a lot of people is getting the studio version for this feature alone. If you edit footage from cameras like GoPros or other cameras with wide-angle lenses like drones that have curved horizons, the lens correction tool is something you'll love. It reads the profile of the lens used and it automatically corrects the distortion, and you can also tweak it manually if you want. It's a must-have tool if you need to remove fisheye effect from action cameras. Fusion is a powerful node-based tool that is built into both versions of DaVinci Resolve. It comes with lots of VFX tools and advanced features that allows you to create advanced visual motion graphics, and for many users it also replaces Adobe After Effects. Except for a few number of features like the camera tracker and the VR toolset, the free version has almost the same options as the studio version. But again, minus the support for multiple GPUs, which is kind of a biggie when it comes to VFX work. The Neural Engine is only available in the studio version. This allows DaVinci to perform a lot of tasks automatically for you in real time using AI. This could be things like magic mask, where you can identify a person or specific features of a person. It could be object tracking, it could be scene cut detections, it could be super scaling to artificially increase the resolution of footage. Speed warp retiming, and it can use face recognitions to help you organize your bins. It's a very powerful feature, and as you have probably guessed, even though it gets faster on each new version of DaVinci Resolve, it's very taxing on your machine, so don't expect it to just fly off on all computers. You're going to want as much hardware power as you can possibly get to feed the engine. Since the Studio version uses the GPU, it allows you to use lots of additional open effects like lens flares, lens distortions, dirt removal, face refinement, patch replacer, film grain, and deflicker. OFX like these can normally be bought separately from third-party providers, but that adds up very quickly. So to get them included in DaVinci Resolve Studio, that's a pretty good deal. And not just because there's a lot of OFX, but because they are all of a very high quality. And for most of them, you'll never need to buy a third party of OFX to replace them. There's so many OFX included in the Studio version that I can't go through them all, but let's talk about a couple of them. Together with noise reduction, DC Tails is probably one of the best things you get with the Studio version when it comes to color grading. A DC Tail is a color transformation script that, unlike LUTs, doesn't rely on simple lookup tables, but instead on GPU accelerated scripts that can directly transform your footage. It uses various math functions to do this, and it makes them extremely fast and non-destructive. There's a lot of third-party developers like Mononodes that offers DCTLs that provides new or often better alternatives to the default built-in tools in DaVinci Resolve. The free version supports multi-user collaboration, so using a free Blackmagic account, multiple people can work on the same timeline, and when changes are made on one system, they get updated immediately on the other system. With collaboration, editors and colorists and VFX artists and animators and sound engineers can all simultaneously work together from anywhere in the world. Plus, you can review each other's changes without spending countless hours reconforming the timeline. Great tool to have in the free version. Remote grading is another studio-only feature. It's an easy way for colors to share color grades and work with clients and co-workers no matter the location. With remote grading, you can have two DaVinci Resolve systems working on the same project, and all changes will be synchronized between them. Magic Mask uses the neural engine to analyze your footage and identify persons and objects. This allows you to easily create a mask of a person or an object and either cut them out or grade them separately. This can be very useful if you have issues with the regular qualifier tool where you need to select the face and correct them. With Superscale, DaVinci Resolve again uses some of the advanced AI technology. So if you want to upscale your footage from HD to UHD, you simply create a UHD project. You bring your HD footage into the timeline. You right click on the footage, you select clip attributes, and under the video tab you go down to Superscale, and to go from UHD to HD you simply select 2 times upscaling, and you can correct the sharpness and the noise reduction for the best result. You can try to play it back and see what looks the best in your timeline, and then you can deliver and render out the footage in UHD. The good thing about this is, although it's a studio version feature only, you can still try it out on the free version and see how it looks, and if it's worth it for you. You'll just get a watermark, but you can see how it looks and you can try it out before you get to the studio version. Other things that's worth mentioning as studio features only are professional HDR scopes with support for nit values. the ability to edit and color grade stereoscopic 3D projects, scripting and automation tools with support for Python and developer APIs, and expanded format support like the H.264, H.265 10-bit, but also for 3D audio with Dolby Atmos mastering and DCP encoding and decoding. So these are the big key features and differences between the free and the studio version of DaVinci Resolve. I hope this helped you get an oversight of the two versions and maybe help you decide whether to get the studio version or not. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I would really appreciate your like and subscription to the channel. It helps us grow and put more videos out there. Catch you on the next one.